secrets. Leo stood on the porch, clutching his small blue suitcase. The wooden door of Grandma Gigi's house looked very big, and the trees in her yard whispered in the wind. Leo looked back at the car. "Will I be okay, Dad?" he asked softly. Dad knelt down and gave him a brave smile. "Grandma Gigi has a house full of secrets, Leo. You just have to find them." The door creaked open, and there stood Grandma Gigi. She didn't look scary at all. She wore a bright yellow apron and smelled like vanilla. "Welcome to the adventure house, Leo," she chirped, pulling him into a warm hug. Leo felt his shoulders drop just a little bit. As Dad waved goodbye from the driveway, Gigi led Leo into the hallway, which was filled with the sound of a ticking grandfather clock. Their first stop was the kitchen. It was filled with clouds of flour and the sweet scent of cinnamon. Gigi handed Leo a giant wooden spoon. "Every explorer needs a snack," she said. Together, they mixed a bowl of golden dough, dropping huge chocolate chips into the sticky mixture. Leo realized that baking at Gigi's house involved a lot more tasting than baking at home. After the cookies were tucked into the oven, Gigi led Leo up the creaky stairs to the attic. She pointed to a dusty, iron-bound trunk in the corner. "That is the chest of yesterday," she whispered. Leo slowly lifted the lid. Inside were velvet hats, shiny medals, and a long brass telescope. Leo held the telescope to his eye and pointed it at the window. "I can see the whole neighborhood," he cheered. As the sun began to dip behind the hills, the corners of the house grew a little darker. Leo felt that tiny flutter of worry returning to his tummy. He missed his own bed and his glowing stars on the ceiling. Gigi noticed his quiet face. She didn't say anything, but she started gathering every soft pillow and fuzzy blanket she could find. "It's time," she declared, "for the fortress of dreams." They worked together to drape the blankets over the dining room chairs, creating a secret tunnel that led to a soft, cushioned floor. Leo crawled inside. It was warm and smelled like clean laundry. He sat in the middle of the fort, watching the light from the hallway create soft, dancing shapes on the blanket walls. For a moment, he forgot that the sun had gone down. "But Gigi," Leo whispered from inside the fort, "it's very dark out there." Gigi reached into her apron pocket and pulled out a small glass star. She clicked a button, and the star began to glow with a soft, shifting rainbow of light. She handed it to Leo. "This star has stayed in this house for a long time," she said. "It knows exactly how to keep the shadows away." Before bed, they went to the bathroom to brush their teeth. Gigi showed Leo how to make a foam beard with his toothpaste. They stood side by side in front of the tall mirror, making silly faces and laughing until their tummies hurt. The house didn't feel big and strange anymore. It felt like a playground that stayed open even after bedtime. Finally, it was time for sleep. Gigi tucked Leo into his sleeping bag right in the center of the blanket fort. She handed him a very old, very soft teddy bear with one button eye. "This is Barnaby," she whispered. "He is the captain of this fort. He's had 1,000 sleepovers, and he's never been scared once." Leo hugged Barnaby tight and felt the bear's soft fur against his cheek. The next morning, the sun poked its head through the curtains and kissed Leo on the nose. The house was filled with the sound of sizzling bacon and the smell of pancakes. Leo scrambled out of his fort and ran into the kitchen. He gave Gigi a giant squeeze around her waist. "Gigi," he asked, "is it okay if I stay for one more night?"